Hello guys, welcome to a new vlog. We're doing something a little bit different today. We are doing another Q&A.
In our new office?
Yes.
It's our first time we've done a Q&A, or first time we've done a sit-down video in our new office.
And this is a patron and YouTube members questions. We're going to answer the questions that our patrons and YouTube members sent us. So,
And there are some good questions actually.
go on. I've not seen any of these, so they're all surprised to me.
Right. Some of the stuff that we've answered before, I'm just going to skip over. But some of the other stuff that's original, we're going to go through it. So the first one is from Sonia, and she says, was it a romantic proposal of marriage or was it a joint decision?
It was a joint decision, but it wasn't romantic in the slightest. Nick's not romantic. It was just a decision, really.
It was a registry office. It took 15 minutes. We went in a short. We took Sam as a witness, and then we went to Frankie and Venice for breakfast.
It wasn't romantic at all. It was just. It's going to sound very boring and kind of business like this, but it was just business like. We thought. I mean, we didn't really see a need to get married, but we had a business, we had a house, we had a lodge.
We wanted next to kin rights and things like that.
We wanted to sort of next of kin.
So no rings, no bridesmaid dresses, nothing like that.
So
although Lee wanted a bridesmaid dress.
No romance.
No, unfortunately not.
Just practicalities.
Right, so the next one is from Hannah Crompton, and she says, what would be your last ever meal choice? Starters, mains and pudding. I'll go first.
Go on.
Starters, I'd want a blue cheese salad with pecan and something sweet on it. For main, it would be steak and mash. Have to be steak and mash. And for dessert, it would have to be something apple, caramel and vanilla-y with cinnamon.
I'd go for a prawn cocktail, a really luxurious one.
How can a prawn cocktail be luxurious?
The pork chop from Narcoossee's, and then a nice chocolate fudge cake with ice cream. Warmed up chocolate fudge cake.
Poles apart. Right, so the next one is from Claire Paler, and she said, if you had to choose to live in Florida and never see the lodge again, or live in the lodge and never see Florida again, what would it be?
Ooh.
That's an impossible question to answer. It would probably have to be the lodge.
It probably would, because we love Florida. We're not Disney vloggers. Our channel isn't based sort of on Disney and Florida. It's just somewhere where we go and
we do love it, but not to live there.
It would just mean that Chris and Jen and Stacey and Steph and Devo and all his Floridian friends would just have to come and visit us instead of us going there.
It would have to be the lodge, unfortunately.
Hard decision, and I would miss Disney and what have you.
Me too.
But I
Just
love
go to
the lodge.
Paris instead.
I love the lodge.
Right, so the next one. Stacey Kerrigan says, what three famous people, living or dead, would you want your extravagant dinner at your extravagant dinner party, and also what would be the main course? Well, we kind of answered the main course on the last one, but living or dead, I'd want. We know what I want. Chris Pratt.
But would you want to have him
I'd want
around a dinner table just discussing things?
I won't be listening to what he's saying. Chris Pratt, probably Jean-Luc Picard. And
well, that's actually a character. That's not a real
Patrick
thing.
Stewart then, and
Madonna, Patrick Stewart, and Robin Williams.
I can't think of my third one. I'll come back to that anyway. So there we go. Right, so the next one, Andrea Brunton says, I've been watching your old vlogs from the start. Is Tom a friend or a relative? I wasn't sure if it was Nick's brother. Just watched the pancake challenge.
No, Tom was a friend. He worked close to the park and lived close to the park. Unfortunately,
He went to another park.
He went elsewhere. He moved up to Scotland to be near his daughter. So we don't see him anymore.
We still talk to him on
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
But he just lives hours and hours away now.
Right, okay, so Bex Lindsay says, you have unlimited spends for the day. What would be your most luxurious one-off purchase? Mansion house in the Hollywood Hills. With pools and wings and cinemas and things like that.
Oh really? I was just thinking something a little bit more simplistic, like
what, a gold Nintendo Switch?
No, like an editing company to edit my daily vlogs for the rest of my life, so I never have to edit again.
How Right, next one. Sarah Waite says, if you were given a choice either to live at the lodge or in the apartment when it's all done, and not able to go to one or the other, which one would you choose? That's similar to the other one.
Lodge.
Lodge.
It'd have to be lodge. As long as I could live there and I didn't have to get thrown out, 1 month of the year and stuff like that.
Lodge would win every time.
As long as I couldn't get kicked out for COVID and I could stay there and lock down there, it would be the lodge.
We do have the option of buying some land and moving the lodge to it, and then it would be the lodge forever. but Lee's not keen on the idea. I've actually found a spot, but never mind. That's another question. Sarah Waite also says, half and half or coffee mate? Half and half, every time.
Yes, definitely. No question. No need to think about that.
Charlie McCoy says, have you ever met Luke and Rick from L&R Dreaming? We haven't, no.
We haven't, but apparently we were in a McDonald's when they were in, and we just didn't realise.
We were too busy eating.
A lot of people...
I thought it were Rich, anyway.
Luke or Richard? Luke
or
Rich?
Rick.
No, well, it's Luke or Richard. A lot of people from our October trip last year, on a video where we went into a McDonald's, saw Luke and Richard's family coming out of the McDonald's.
They weren't in it though.
No,
how the hell? I mean, we've watched the video and we were like, how the hell did they possibly tell?
And I was like, oh yeah, that is Luke and Richard's grandma and granddad.
Yeah, but you couldn't, unless you were like knew them personally. You would probably never be able to tell.
We missed them. We've never met them.
Next question is from our lovely friend Vera. What have been the best and worst parts of becoming daily vloggers? Do you ever regret it?
The best is
we regret it.
The best is the community and all the new friends that we've got.
That was completely unexpected.
Yeah. And also another best for me is, well, for Nick as well, is like all the messages that we get. People like say, we said this in last Q&A, like people say you've got us through a bad year just by having some stability, by watching you guys at 6 o'clock every night, and that for us is like, wow, that we can have that impact on some people. Just give them half an hour, 20 minutes of lightheartedness is fantastic.
Until we became vloggers, we didn't understand what the word influencer means, and now we truly do understand it, because if we buy Biscoffee spread, then you guys buy Biscoffee spread, and we're like, why do people do that? And we find ourselves doing it when we see it on other people's vlogs.
We actually never even think about being influencers.
No.
I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
We just buy things, and then people say, well, we bought that as well because we saw it on yours. We're like, oh great. The only thing that I've really sort of like thought people are going to like this is my little handheld vacuum. I love it. And the worst thing is, for me, it is the daily editing. I do like the process of putting a video together and seeing if I can do better than I did yesterday.
I get utterly frustrated if it doesn't happen okay the first time. Lee's got lots of patience, I've got none.
Yeah, but that's
why Lee's good at doing that.
In an ideal world, I wouldn't have to do that every day, but it does come with
the job.
With the territory, yes.
Rachel Gennery says, what was your first ever vlog and can we see it?
Oh, we have talked about this, and we do need to go through it. From our last Q&As, and as from last vlogs, people have said they do want to see it.
We've got 30 vlogs that are hidden which are utter cheesy because of the way that they were filmed, and we just never... Oh shit, this chair's falling over. We never removed any of the crap, basically. We just left it all in, and it's just cringe. So we will edit them and probably do a reaction video at some point.
You could do that at some point.
I'm plenty busy, thank you, spray monitors. So the next one is from Sharon Alicia, and I always say her name wrong. When travel is somewhat normal again, where will you be going on your first trip? Florida.
Probably Florida.
It will be, definitely.
If not, somewhere in the UK. I mean...
We will see you again,
You never
Sharon.
know. Yeah, we'll see you again, Sharon. Well, you never know. We might just book like a week or two somewhere in Europe or something, just think, oh, great, let's just go somewhere. But I imagine Florida will be on the top of the list.
There's two more from Sharon, which I'm going to answer consecutively. What was your most unexpected fan meeting? I think Sharon knows the answer to that one.
Yes, it was her.
That was Sharon.
We were just randomly stood next to Sharon in Hollywood studios.
We'd never seen her.
Me and Nick were here. She was a patron, and Sharon was there, and me and Nick were just stood chatting. What did she say? She said, "I'm your patron" or something.
I can't remember. I was just too shocked.
We were like, eh?
We just randomly stood. It was just not expected.
Yeah.
So that was that one. And she's also said, when did you realise when you had a following? I think it was the point when we landed in March, and some lady stopped us in the queue and said that she'd been watching our first ever Disney vlog, and we did not expect that at all from just 2 weeks of daily vlogging in Florida.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
And we were like,
from our January vlog.
We were shocked, and then we got stopped again, didn't we? By that lady in the premium outlets, Joanne, I think she was called, Jo.
Yes.
And we were like, what?
Yeah.
From 2 weeks of vlogs, we didn't expect it at all, and then it kind of, as that trip went on, and we got more and more viewers, it kind of became expected when we went back in October. But we do get recognised here as well. Occasionally, when people will stop us in the street. We were going to a hospital appointment before Christmas, and somebody wound a van window down and shouted, "Hi, Lodge Guys!" Didn't they? So,
although our channel isn't based on Disney, it was Disney in Florida that made our channel take off.
Yeah.
and at the same time we found a love for Disney. So it all kind of gelled together. But thankfully we have as many people who don't go to Disney that watch us.
Yeah, and the ones that do go to Disney watch us anyway.
Yeah, so that we can, do all our daily vlogs not in Disney and people still watch us. So thank you for everybody that watches us.
Right, Catherine has said, coming out stories, who did you come out to first? We're actually going to do a separate video on this at some point because it's quite a lengthy story, so we're not going to do this one in here, but...
Well, can I answer that question now?
Well, you want me to do the video then?
Okay, so we will do that separately.
It is a video in itself. We will do it probably as a patron only and YouTube members only first, and then release it sometime later on the main channel. So we will come back to that, Catherine. Catherine also says, would we ever see Nick's dad in a vlog?
Probably not. Well, you answered that one.
I do talk to him quite a lot on WhatsApp, but he has COPD, so he's on a machine constantly at home, and we've got to be careful at the minute because of COVID. I think I've seen him once in the last year.
So hi Nick's dad, because he does watch the videos.
Yeah, he always texts me and said, "Why didn't you say that I told you how to do that door?" Which he didn't. I'd already said how we were going to do it, and then he chirped up 15 minutes later on WhatsApp telling me how to do it, but I'd already done it.
Nick's dad used to do all his own DIY as well, like Nick, didn't he?
Yeah, but he admitted to me the other day that I'm better than him, and I've got a WhatsApp to prove it.
See where Nick gets his competitive from. I imagine it's his dad.
Lisa Abbott Sanders says, I would love to know how you deal with silly nasty comments from people. Do you find mean comments easy to brush off, or do you find yourself taking them to heart sometimes?
When we first started to get nasty comments, I took them to heart because it was new, obviously, and when you get some nasty comments...
Not really.
No, I did. When we first got nasty comments, the first ever nasty comment we got was a homophobic comment, and I was like, oh, I didn't really like that because I've never had homophobia in my 40 odd years on
You've just answered another question of Catherine's, so there we go.
So I didn't like that, and then I did take it to heart, and I spoke to some other YouTubers, and they were like, well, if you're starting to get hate comments, then you've made it. So I'm like, oh, okay then. And nowadays, we just brush it off because...
It doesn't bother me. I like to actually, I'm not allowed though, I like to torment the people that leave the nasty comments, but Lee always deletes my responses. Sometimes I'll let them go through, but I just like to just give it back because I just find it amusing that they've wasted their time watching the video and lining our pockets with revenue to moan about it, and then think it bothers us. Well, thanks, but ka-ching.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
To be fair, we don't get that many.
No, we don't
comments.
get any.
It's maybe the odd one, and I'll let
the ones that we delete tend to be the ones that are advertising things.
If it's like constructive criticism, then I'll let it through because fair point. But if it's just a nasty comment, then I'll just delete it because there's...
Yeah. Some people do leave comments without knowing the full story or the full picture, because obviously when you're on a vlog, you're not showing everything that goes on that day. Yeah. You're just showing a snippet, so people can jump to their own conclusions without knowing the full story. So
no, it doesn't bother us at all.
No, not a bit. Susan Blanco says, if you could only go to Florida once in a year, 2 weeks in Disney Polynesian bungalows or 4 weeks at the Ramada, which would you choose, quality or quantity? Ooh. It would have to be bungalows, I'm sorry.
For the first time, but then I'd probably choose, if I could go for the next year.
Yeah, but 2 weeks in the Polynesian bungalows?
Yeah, exactly.
Basically like a floating lodge on Bay Lake.
Well, I know, yeah, but...
Yeah, it'd be 2 weeks.
I'd definitely want to try the 2 weeks in the Polynesian bungalows.
Well, you could go to Ramada for 2 weeks on your own after I'd flown over.
No, but if it was just like, if I had the option to do that option each year, then I'd do the Polynesian bungalows, then the year after I'd do the Ramada, so you get the...
She's not giving you that option, she's just saying one or the other. Which
Polynesian bungalows, I'd have to choose that.
Right, okay. So the next question is from Julie and Neil. She said, random question, are you still pleased with Parker? We are considering an all-electric version when our leases finish on our current cars.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, but not at the minute, because it's just a petrol car at the minute, because we can't charge him here.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing with Parker was the timing. We got Parker when we were moving here, and bless him, he's been used as a delivery and removable car. So at the minute, and for the last few weeks, he's been an absolute disgrace inside. We need to get him...
It would have been a disgrace anyway.
Yeah.
We did have him clean when we were at the lodge on the last week before we came back.
We just need to fully valet him at some point and get him...
Well, the moves are done, we will do. Yeah. But we do love it.
Yeah, we do.
Gemma Brown says, Nick, has there ever been a time when you got jealous over someone flirting with Lee or vice versa? No. No.
No. Or vice versa?
That's a boring answer.
That's vice versa. Well, I can't think that anybody's ever flirted with you.
Yeah, well, I'm blind to it anyway. I can't see it, so
What
they
do you
could,
mean?
they could be flirting. They could like whip it out and dangle it in his face, and I'd be like completely oblivious to it.
Well, why would you be oblivious?
Because
to
I don't see things like that. I'm too busy thinking about other things. I've got like scatterbrain.
Yeah, but I don't actually think.
We're not jealous people.
No. If somebody wanted to flirt with you, then
Lee would flirt back.
uh,
Yeah, she would.
Depends on the person. If it were a hot guy flirting with me, I'd probably
Yeah,
flirt
and I'd be
back.
flirting and all.
It's very innocent. And
Oh, this is a good question.
I've
So-
not finished.
You are finished.
Flirting is one of the nice things in life, isn't it? But nobody.
So chocolate. Next question. Catherine again. She says, what percentage of your life do you feel you actually share with us? I saw something in your fridge the other day and thought, I don't remember seeing them shop for that. Right, so let me answer this question. When people have been with us when we've been vlogging, they've all said the same thing, how so little intrusive doing the vlogs are. Because what you actually see is only 15 or 20 minutes out of a full 24 hours, which is basically just picking the camera up maybe once every couple of hours and just recording for a couple of minutes. It is really non-intrusive. It's not a high percentage of what we do. It's not our daily thing.
Well, 20 minutes out of our
24 hours.
12 hours that we're awake or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you only get to see 20 minutes of our full day.
You don't get to see when the shopping arrives and where it goes or what we eat.
So there is quite a lot of. Yeah, I watch daily vloggers and other vloggers, and for me it seems like I am watching all their life. But
It's not.
Either there is so much that goes on without that. We've got things that go off in the background, and do you know what I mean?
There's a high percentage, probably 80% of stuff that we do that you never even know about.
Yeah.
Like our other business that we've got, that's never going to feature in the vlog. That's nothing to do with the vlog. That's just our
That's why
income.
that's why
basically.
nasty comments don't bother us in the slightest, because it's all presumptions.
Yeah.
People presuming things about us from 20 minutes of a 12-hour
Yeah.
day. So
But it's humorous to read because
it means
it's just
nothing.
people get 2 and 2 and get to 5 easily.
Yeah, it is irrelevant.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know percentage-wise.
Probably about 20% of what we do gets put in the vlog.
Yeah.
But obviously, bits and bats
Next question.
make a vlog.
Good question, that actually, really good.
Yeah, she's got lots of good questions actually. Do you have separate friends that before COVID you spend time with individually, or do you literally have everything together all the time, including all joint friends?
We do have everything together,
Joint
and I'll
friends.
tell you why. This is going to sound very sad and like I'm, wanting sympathy, but I'm not. It's just how the way that we were. We actually didn't have any friends.
What?
We didn't have any friends when we came together. Well, no, we did.
Yeah, we were talking 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
We did, but they weren't like
Well, there weren't
drinking buddies and things like that.
I had very lonely childhood, teenage life. It's just how it happened, unfortunately.
We were like two sides of a jigsaw that made a picture, and once the picture was there, we then become.
I didn't have that
One.
many friends, and I was desperate to have friends, and I don't know, I was very awkward at school, didn't really make friends, and which is why I love and appreciate all my friends now, because
You were dragged out of your shell.
I
by
never
now.
had it. I was very quiet. I just never used to speak. I've said this loads, and I was awkward to be around.
Oh,
so
yes.
people didn't want to be around me because I never used to speak.
And if somebody would ask him a question
I'd
when
go
we were
bright red.
around people, it would just go
Yeah.
blush red and not speak.
So it was my own fault that I had a very lonely childhood, but I couldn't help it. It was just who I was at the time.
But that's all changed.
This is why now I talk quite a lot, and
Too much at the minute.
I love having all those friends because I'm making up for lost time. So no, all those friends are our own. I did get some friends from Nick, and Nick got some friends from me. Like Sazzle was my friend.
Sazzle tried to crack on to Lee. That's how she met him.
She
But that's
flirted.
another vlog.
And I flirted back a little bit just for a laugh.
Told you flirt back.
Well, I like innocent flirting. It's just fun.
Smut.
Nick knew Bob and Marie from Wales
Yeah.
before I met him. So the separate friends that we did have, we kind of amalgamated into one. Is that right?
Yeah. Right, next question. Michael Rem says, how did Nick get so smart? And sorry Lee, we see you mostly as eye candy.
Well, I don't mind that.
I learn practically. I can't sit down with a textbook and read it. Like if you noticed on the vlog when I was assembling IKEA furniture, I didn't get any instructions out.
You just do it.
I just do it.
Nick, it's very frustrating for me because I'm completely opposite to Nick, which is why we fit together quite well. But I wish I was more like Nick in the practical way. Nick
I
can
have a
do
logical way of
anything.
thinking and a logical mind, which is why when I did the job that I did, which was in IT, I was good at problem solving because I could envisage. I always analyse the situation and look at solution 1, solution 2, solution 3, and then I analyse and pick the best one and plan things in mind. That's why sometimes when we're doing some of these decorations, I've been awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, ordering things on Amazon that I know that I'm going to need.
This is why sometimes, I think I've mentioned this before, why sometimes I just let Nick get on with stuff and I don't have that much input, because Nick will be like, right, I want that, it's ordered, it's installed, done.
It's decided. I have to decide.
I'd be like, which one should we get? Let me go and research it for 3 days and then weigh up the pros and cons and then decide.
If nothing would ever get done until he had to decide things. He's got an
there you
OCD
go.
for decision making, hasn't he?
I did it the other day when I bought an Xbox pad for my PC.
You did it yesterday in the chip shop.
I
like
had-
for fish and chips.
I had the choice of a black controller and a white controller, and I had to go on Discord and I said, look guys, my OCD's kicked in, can you decide for me which
You
should
asked
I
me
get?
as well,
And then when I got the black one, I wanted the white one.
which is what you do when he's got a PlayStation and wants an Xbox, and then
Next
swap 'em.
question.
Right, so the next one. So we've done Sharon's. Will you take the vaccine when one becomes available?
Who's that from?
Ooh,
Who's that from?
that's a good one. That's Paul Salatasania.
Yes, we will, but I would want to
Not
see
yet.
a lot of other people take it
Yeah.
first.
We
Just to
will,
make
but
sure.
not. We won't be the first in line.
But I can't wait for that day when I've actually taken it. I know I'm hopefully 95% immune, and we can be like, oh, let's go somewhere, let's go and hug the kids, the girls, and let's go on a plane and stuff like that.
We were having the discussion yesterday. If our older friends, I won't mention names, but hi Roy and Sheila, hi Elaine and Peter. If our older friends take it, then effectively we're going to be free to socialise with them because they can't catch it or spread it.
Yeah, and we will take it as well. You mean
Only when there's a-
they'll get it first.
I
you mean,
want
before
the
us?
20 million people to have it first and see whether there's any side effects before I decide to take it.
Can't wait until we've all had it.
So, but
Want to get back to normal life.
but yeah, but we will, but not straight away. Right, the final question, and this is from Catherine again. She makes a very good point here, but I completely disagree with it. Do you ever buy fresh milk? UHT is absolutely rank, and you seem to do plenty of food shops, so why not get proper milk?
Because we just put it in tea and coffee. That's the only thing we ever use milk for, tea and coffee. So it keeps in the cupboard for months and months before you open it. So
Yeah, and it's nice and creamy if you get the whole milk.
Yeah, so that's the only reason.
Right. There's a couple more questions that we've got to do from our YouTube members. They were all from
Hi
our
guys.
patrons.
They was from our patrons. Thanks for
So
those questions.
switching across to YouTube members, which
Hi,
for everybody
members.
that doesn't know, it's very similar to Patreon,
Yeah.
which is just self-contained.
It's just
in
on YouTube. If you don't want to come outside YouTube, it's all, like Nick said, self-contained, and it's a little tab on
your app.
You just click the join button.
So JC says, as you have grown, have you ever thought about rebranding?
Well, you'll have seen already.
This video.
Yeah, well, actually, no, this video, I don't know what all I've done. You'll see what I've done at
This will get slotted in at the end of what we've done yesterday.
It'll probably just start this video because now we don't have an intro. Or I may put some coming up scenes, we'll see.
Yeah.
But you'll notice we do now have a new intro and a new outro.
Yeah.
It's something we've been thinking about for a while. I know a lot of people will have probably gone bonkers like, we missed
Where's
the
your
singing,
theme
we missed
tune?
the singing. But we feel we've outgrown that now.
We need to minimalise. We've only become minimalistic, like the
We wanted to
apartment.
streamline it. It was obviously a beach scene. We're not always by the beach anymore, and it said life at the lodge underneath it.
We're not
We're not always in the
anymore.
lodge, so it just nice and simply says lodge guys.
Yeah.
And
if you don't like it, you'll get used to it.
you will get used to it because at
Yeah,
first
you'll already be used to it. Now.
at first we were like, ooh, not sure.
Well,
And now
our beta testers were like, ooh, they're not sure. And then the day
And they
after, they
loved
were
it.
like, actually, we do like that now.
and a few of them have said, and I agree with it. It feels more grown up, a bit more professional, a little bit
Slicker.
slicker,
Cleaner.
Yeah, cleaner.
Yeah. Right then, so MZ says, hi Neil, hi Lee and Nick, would you ever consider going on a most haunted experience investigation?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so, yeah. And I'd want to take Nicky with me. Because
Who's a skeptic.
He's a skeptic, he doesn't believe anything, so he'd be good for keeping me not screaming, hopefully.
He'd be at the front of the queue.
And
to
I'd
be-
want to take Jade with me, just to hear her scream.
Well, you've seen her scream on our fright video. So.
Hi guys.
Katie and Harry, hi guys. Harry would like to ask, after COVID and you were allowed to, when will you be going back to Florida and how long will you be going for? Will Batty B be going with you or will you be going on your own?
I was thinking about Matty B the other day. I mean,
They want to go back.
we've seen her once since the October trip, and it's just not enough. It's not fair that we've not seen people.
Have I imagined it? They do want to go back, don't they?
It was my mum and dad who said they wanted to go back.
Yeah.
And which would really surprise me after my dad got that slip disc. I thought that'd be it for Florida. I mean, he wouldn't go back on the rides again. But he doesn't want to go back.
He'd go and explore more.
Yeah.
Like he wants to go and see St Augustine properly because he
Yeah.
was in pain most of it.
Yeah.
So, but
it's,
yeah, I'd love to take Matty B back.
Yeah.
And drag her on some
She
rides.
loved it. She loved it, and we
She loved
it.
the water park. She actually begged us to take her back to the water parks, and
loves
that was
water.
the one where we got her on the slide, and she absolutely screamed on that, and we just
Everybody
couldn't stop laughing.
surprised us on that holiday. My dad for going on all those rides.
Your
My
mum?
mum went on loads of more rides than she's ever been on. My uncle Brian went on loads of rides. But I think everybody that went on that holiday and watched that holiday would agree that Batty B was the biggest surprise. We were just like, oh great, Batty B's here. And then when we got on Epcot, what was it, Soaring, and we were
you saw the
what
videos.
the freak? We couldn't concentrate for us screaming and stuff. And we just had a hoot. We loved it.
So the last question before we finish the video is from Christine. She said, did you go to college or university, and if so, what did you study? And if you did not go, do you wish you had, and what would you have studied?
I went to college on a YTS scheme for, I think it was IT and business, and then through that I got a job placement, and then the job placement offered me a full-time job, so I quit college.
I went to college on a YTS. I got work placement. I ended up.
Is that still a thing now? YTS?
No.
It's a youth training scheme.
It was basically a government scheme to help you get
You got like
into your
25
first job.
a week or something.
28. I
something
got
like
£28 a week. Then I basically went and worked at W.H. Smith's while I had my own wind around. I only did bungalows because I was afraid of heights. That's not a job, by the way. Then I decided after I'd met Lee that I wanted to get into IT. I had no background, no qualifications in IT. I actually got a U for my GCSE in IT.
Weren't you doing an open university course when I
I'd started it a week before, but I quit that because I couldn't be
You met
bothered.
me.
And then I got a job at Morrison's head office in Wakefield.
It's just a question about college and university.
Yeah, I'm explaining, I'm coming to it. And then that was just like a standing job until I found an IT job. And then when I got into the IT job, I literally crapped myself, thought, how am I going to learn all this? And I had to do loads of self-study. So if I did have to go back to university or college for things that I don't know now, it would probably be something IT related.
I always fancied it, doing something. Still kind of fancy it now. I don't know what. Maybe we should go to some college.
Editing.
Whatever.
No, we haven't got
I don't
time
need
to
to
bloody
learn that.
college.
I'm fantastic at editing. Thank you. Is that it?
Because I taught you.
Is that it?
Can you not remember when we installed that? When we first tried Premiere Pro, and I sat you down and said, "Look at this," and I showed you how to use it, and within an hour you were editing on it.
Exactly. Quick study me. Is that it?
I'm just a good teacher. That's it.
Thank you guys, thank you so much for those questions, and I hope you all enjoyed the answers and watching along there with us. So please do drop us a comment below if you want to just comment on any of those questions, answer any of them yourself, because we like to hear and get to know all our viewers.
And was any of the answers surprising for the questions that we've asked,
Yeah.
that have been asked and answered?
So thanks for watching guys, hit the like button, click the notification bell, click on that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, and we shall see you tomorrow for a normal daily vlog.
Bye for now.